And I'm going to show you how to do Washington Ways reading and questions. So the first slide is the video directions. So if you're watching this video, then you know where to find it. The second slide is a PDF of the reading that you'll need for this assignment. So if you click the tab here when you go to present, it'll open up this PDF. I think it's a lot easier to read because it's bigger and it's you're able to kind of like read it better. However, I know that PDFs don't always load on people's iPads, so I did put a picture of the assignment, like the reading, on slide 3. You'll just have to increase the size. So just FYI if the PDF is not loading. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to read sorry, I'm going to add this little like text box here because it was missing. You're going to read this reading, and then you're going to fill out this graphic organizer. So it's going to ask you what was the event. So it leaves off 2 of the words, and then you have to fill it in. So if I look at this and I go up here, obviously it's the Whiskey Rebellion. So I type in the Whiskey Rebellion. So after reading it, you're going to tell me what was the Whiskey Rebellion. So it's going to ask you, how did George Washington, like the President George Washington, respond? So you're going to find that in this paragraph right here. So what did he think about this situation? Then where it says Hamilton's influence, it means like, how did Hamilton affect this decision? Like, did his ideas get in the way, or how did he feel about what was going on? And then what do you think why do you think Washington responded as he did? So if you go down to this like paragraph right here, it's like you're reading through and just kind of seeing how did Washington respond, and you're telling me why do you think he responded in the way that he did. Now this side is very much the same exact thing, except you're going to read this side of the reading, the French Revolution. Again, it just has you finish the sentence, and then you fill in all your information here. We'll be doing the first one in the Google Meet. So if you open this during a Google Meet and we're following along and actually there, then I'll help you out with the first one, so the second one won't be so hard. Okay, after that, I put this here as a way to just tell you that this is the halfway point in the assignment. So my advice to you is just to do half today, half tomorrow. Then you are going to answer these questions. So they're asking you questions based on the reading. If it's talking about the Whiskey Rebellion, then you're going to find your answers in this column. If it's talking about the French Revolution, you're going to find your answer in this column. So, concerning the Whiskey Rebellion, do you think most people supported his decision? Who might have been against it? So, do you think most people agreed with what Washington did? Concerning the French Revolution, do you think most people supported his decision? Who might have been against it? So, when they say his decision, they're talking about George Washington, just FYI for these. And then for this one, so concerning the French Revolution, what other dangers do you think Washington considered when he decided to say neutral? Neutral means that he did not pick a side. It means that he didn't side with either side, and he just decided to kind of keep out of it. So what dangers do you think he considered? What do you think he thought about, like what could happen? And then what challenges do you think Washington made? Do you think Washington had making these decisions, considering he was the first president? These are a lot of big decisions to make as a first-time president, as the first president of the United States. There's a lot of pressure. So what kind of challenges do you think he faced? Remember, he's the first president. And the presidency is one of the most like stressful jobs that there is out there. You're responsible for a lot of things. So after that, you are just going to answer the question on page 6 of your student notebook, and then after that, turn it in. But if you have any other questions, just make sure to ask me in a Google Meet. Make sure you're following directions in a Google Meet so you can get some answers. And then, yeah, there are a bunch of other ways to ask for help. But overall, thanks for listening.